Now, the Nigerian government is working to try and deal with the challenges facing businesses based in that West African country. There are 120 South African businesses currently operating in Nigeria. The Nigerian High Commission and Access Bank are hosting an event to enhance Nigeria-South Africa business partnership through trade and investment. SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo has more.
Well, certainly quite a very important day here in South Africa as the Nigerian High Commission is hosting quite a very important event in as far as, boosting of trade between South Africa and Nigeria, but also interacting with the business people based here in South Africa, mainly from Nigeria. And the High Commissioner based in South Africa for Nigeria joins us now. So, High Commissioner, thank you so much indeed for your time. An inaugural session of this nature. First and foremost, what do you make of today's importance of this event?
Thank you very much, my good friend, for giving me this opportunity. The meeting, which we've captioned breakfast meeting, probably will be promoted later to lunch meeting where amala and egusi soup will be served. But today is breakfast meeting. And the breakfast meeting is essentially an offshoot of a meeting we had with the Nigeria-South Africa Business Council to examine what we have, the two presidents of South Africa and Nigeria have been preaching, and for which documents have been signed. We've signed MOUs on most of this through the processes of our binational commission between the two countries. So President Ramaphosa, His Excellency, the President of South Africa, was in Abuja in December 2021, and former President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, they signed investment promotion MOUs. So to actualize that dream, we took a holistic view of interaction between Nigeria and South Africa in terms of business and investment. And we noticed that even those that exist had a sudden decline, which was we attributed to the COVID-19 as well as some other trade promotions that were not carried out. So on the basis of that, we came up with the idea that we should have a forum in which the two business communities, captains of industry, will participate fully and be able to classify those challenges where the government can come in. So the South African government is willing to come in, and the Nigerian government is willing to also back it up. Unfortunately, all of these contexts fall within the AU Agenda 2063, as well as the main reasons why the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement was reached, and the headquarters was established and has commenced operation in West Africa, which is Ghana. And happily, the first Director General is South Africa. So that puts us on a very good pedestal why the intra-African trade must be promoted, because it is backed by powers within the two sub-regions that are powered by South Africa as well as Nigeria. And in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa, Nigeria and South Africa are the two biggest economies. So we must promote trade among ourselves. So this morning now, it is the theme on this morning is actually on the promotion of trade between our two countries.
And High Commissioner, these are very precarious times, in terms of the cost of living crisis, mainly because of what's happening in terms of the global economy. What can South Africa and Nigeria do in terms of making sure that as powerful economies in the continent, they can play a very pivotal role in uplifting the continent to the better path, especially, of course, using their continental free trade area as a key instrument?
Yes, using the Continental Free Trade Area as a key instrument, fortunately, let me not preempt what the committees will bring out. We have, the discussions have now broken up into committees, 4 committees actually. And at the end of our discussion, we expect that they will bring out deliverables that can be carried forward. But let me say that one of the challenges that we both face as a continent is the absence of our own currency. So both countries, with South Africa trades with Nigeria, or Nigeria trades with Sierra Leone, or Sierra Leone with Rwanda, we do not have a medium of exchange in which to settle these prices or payments. So we still have to go to the dollar or go to the euro. So, but that notwithstanding, we have identified it as a challenge, which we are looking forward to the Africa Continental Bank to be able to come out with a solution within the nearest future. Secondly, we do have the issue of internal, road networks, as well as challenges of security within the hinterland countries, that the landlocked countries are not easily reachable. But fortunately, like I said, between Nigeria and South Africa, the vast ocean provides us free access. Any goods you move from South Africa can get to Lagos port without having to pass through continental Africa. So what we do lack is the ability to follow through some of those things we put down on paper. And the captains of industry are not people that wait. Nobody wants to put his money and then by the next day he cannot count the profit. They are not like government. You put in some money and you stay for a long time without getting returns. So they want issues. And that is why we said, okay, let's put them into components. Services components, entertainment and hospitality components, construction and mining. So if we have them in that form, then exploitation can be more efficient, and then requests for financial backup, sponsorship can also be more easily assessed and approved. Happily, the Access Bank, South Africa, has put forward over 2.8 billion rand at the disposal of the business community in South Africa to do business with Nigeria. So I believe that if we leave this meeting with all the deliverables, there will be financial backup to take through our aspirations, and our goals will be achieved.
And just before I let you go, High Commissioner, the issue of people-to-people relations, Nigerians and South Africans, from time to time we do see these sporadic incidents. How do we improve that aspect, in terms of seeing that, there's quite a lot in common that these two giants can work on?
Yes, we do have a lot in common between our people, but there's also a lot of misconception because lack of education is one. Because majority of Nigerians who live in South Africa are actually entrepreneurs and businessmen. They don't do jobs that South Africans do. Most of them, the captains of industry, as you have seen in this room, they are employers of labor, and most of those who work for them are even South Africans. But the misconception out there is that a few miscreants on the streets are used to box the remaining of us who are doing legitimate business, who are also helping the economy of South Africa. So the only way to do that, I think, is the government to open up education between the people, and then for the laws to be applied creditably. Where the police have failed, the government has the duty to make them sit up and do their job. Criminality doesn't have nationality. Criminality has no nationality. So you have to identify a criminal and by the laws of the land prosecute him and then put him away for public safety. So that is what the government should do.
All right.
Yeah.
High Commissioner, thank you so much indeed for your time. Obviously, quite a very important day here in Johannesburg for South Africa and Nigeria. And these are very important economies in the continent. And given the opportunities presented by the African Continental Free Trade Area, this is just one of the very critical platforms to try and enhance trade. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.